my name is Rachel. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Riri Gets Crafty. And I don't post very many videos, but it's the beginning of January, and today is January 6th, 2024. I just wrapped up with Vlogmas in December, and I love doing Vlogmas so much. Hi, this is Polu. I love doing Vlogmas so much that it always makes me feel inspired to do more videos, and my mom requested that I make a video, hey, can you not? Showing, maybe this was a bad idea to sit here, showing all my handmade socks. So that's what this video is. I am sitting on my bed, so I will probably be joined by some dogs. You might hear some background noise. Pete's making breakfast. It's a nice rainy Sunday morning, so I'm gonna show you all my handmade socks. I live in Phoenix, Arizona with 4 dogs and a cat, so everything that I show and everything that I own is probably gonna have some dog hair on it. That's just the way that it is here. So I just washed most of my socks yesterday, the ones that I usually wear my socks a couple of times before I wash them. Hi, Pete.
Hi.
Before I wash them. So I figured I just got them out of the dryer, and I figured while I'm folding them up, this is a perfect time to share them. So I did say I just got them out of the dryer. I am not saying that's what you should do. This is just what I do. I do wash my socks in the washing machine and I dry them in the dryer. I wash them on a delicate setting, and I just use a tiny bit of soap. It's like fragrance free. It's not a special wool soap, but it's super gentle, and I dry them in the dryer on a very low heat for about 40 minutes, and then I check them and dry them longer if needed, or sometimes I just lay them out to dry after that. I don't have a lot of space to just lay things out flat to dry because my cat is obsessed with yarn. Anytime I have yarn out, she's either eating it or sleeping on it, and I have to use a towel to cover it. It's a pain. So when the crazy sock lady, Kay, the crazy sock lady, when she said that she washes her socks in the washing machine, I was like, I'm going to try that. And again, do this at your own risk. I have had a great experience with it so far, knock on wood, nothing has fallen apart. Okay, so, I will say though, this pair that I have here, I have not washed it yet because I do not wash these in the washing machine because the red bleeds and I do not want any colors bleeding. The first wash that I do, so after I finish a pair, I do hand wash them the first time, just in case there's any colors that are gonna bleed. And if I see that the color does bleed a lot, this is Furiosa, you wanna say hi? If I see that the colors do bleed a lot, then I definitely will not wash those ones in the washing machine with all of the other pairs. What else? While it does feel like I am always working on a pair of socks, I really don't have very many. I've only been knitting for about 2 years, and I've made quite a few pairs for family members, particularly my sister. She's got a few pairs of hand knit socks. I think the rest of my family only has crochet socks. You come in? This is Sherman. You might just get introduced to everybody in this video. So let's see. Yeah, I've only been knitting for about 2 years. I've been crocheting for a lot longer. So when I first started making socks, I crocheted them, and that was actually the reason that I learned to knit. There's Zoe. I don't think you can see Zoe. I learned to knit because I wanted to knit socks. I did not like the crochet socks that I was making. I didn't feel like they were comfortable. But back in 2021, I had this idea to make my entire family a pair of handmade socks, and that was a nightmare. I will never do that again. I made so many socks. I was so sick of it at the end of that year, but those were all crocheted. That brings us into the first pair that I've ever made myself. This was not the first pair that I made. These are the ones that I made myself, and these are my crochet socks. I definitely don't remember this pattern. I will link all of these pattern pages, project pages from my Ravelry in the description of this video. So if you're curious, just a forewarning, I am not great at taking notes on these projects. So any modifications and stuff, I don't always remember to put notes in there. And sometimes I do try to put the yarn name and dyer name at least in the project page, but I'm not always very good at that. So just a warning there. I have no idea who this pattern is by, but I know that this was a sock set from Moonglow Yarn Co. And this was their Halloween 2021 sock set. I don't remember what it was called, but they did a sock set with Kay, the crazy sock lady, and also Natalie of Nitty Natty. And this was one of them. I believe it was Nitty Natty's sock set. I cannot remember the name though. But this was my first pair that I ever made myself, and these are crochet. I do not wear them very often because they're very like bumpy. I guess actually now that I've worn them more, maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm going to try to wear these more because all my knit socks get a lot of love. I love socks. I pretty much always have them on. My feet are always cold. So even though I live in Phoenix, Arizona, when I'm in the house, I almost always have socks on. So they get a lot of love. They get worn a lot. So none of these are recently, maybe I have one pair that's recently finished, but everything that you're going to see has definitely been worn multiple times, including these. It's just been a while. So maybe I'll make more of an effort to wear these more. I do know that the ankle is kind of loose and it's tight in the way that it's like kind of hard to get on, but it's loose where it's like too loose on my legs. So they're just not my favorite fitting pair, but not to be discouraged. If you are only a crocheter and you want to make socks, definitely go for it. There's a lot of patterns out there and you might find one that works great for you. All right, and then my first pair of knit socks that I ever made were these. This was actually the first thing that I ever knit. So when I learned to knit, I took a class and I made a dishcloth. I made 2 dishcloths actually. And I learned a little bit from the class. It was just a real quick class and I felt like I still didn't know what I was doing afterwards. I don't think you could learn, there's no way you could learn everything about knitting from one class to feel confident, but I learned a lot from YouTube. There's so many great tutorials out there. Particularly, I was learning from Nitty Natty's YouTube tutorials, but also the Crazy Sock Lady, because the first thing I wanted to make once I felt confident enough to try something other than a dishcloth was socks. So I just watched the Crazy Sock Lady's tutorial. These are her vanilla socks on magic loop, and she has a full YouTube tutorial on how to make them. So I just paused the video, rewound it, kept watching it over and over again, and this was my first ever finished knit item. Again, I have not washed these, so they're extra dog hairy. This was a bit of a mistake on my end to do the red at the contrasting, because as you can see down here, it really bleeds, and I wear them with my Vans and they've even turned the inside of my Vans red, so that is kind of a bummer. I love this pair. They fit so well. The yarn is from Woolens and Nash, or Woolens and Nash? I can't remember what it's called, but I can't remember the colorway name either. The contrast is not from them. It was just the main color, the self-striping. It was so much fun. I love self-striping yarn and they fit so well. It's a Targhee blend, so they're kind of like rusticy feeling. I love everything about these. They definitely made me want to make all the socks. So since this was finished December 2021, and I've been knitting socks ever since. Okay, the rest of them are in no particular order because I don't remember when I've finished them all. I'll start with the ones that were already clean, that I just pulled out of my drawer. And then the rest I just took out of the dryer, so I'll just fold them up as I go before I put them away. So these are, again, vanilla socks on magic loop by the Crazy Sock Lady. These are not one of my favorites because they're too short, so they're very much ankle socks. I can wear them with my Birkenstocks, but they're a little bit short to wear with my Vans. They kind of like slide down a little bit. These are knit magic loop US 0. I think that's a 2mm. This was my first time knitting with the US 0. I struggle with my tension a little bit, and this definitely gives me a better fit. However, they're a little bit short. I don't normally measure when I'm knitting socks just because I've made so many. I know that my foot is about 57 rounds before I start the toe. But with these on the US 0, I have started doing 60 rounds before starting the toe, and that seems to be perfect. So, oh, I also knit a size small, which I believe is 54 stitches. Yeah, 54 stitches. I am a size 7 shoe, and yeah, 57 rounds for the foot with, no, 60 rounds for the foot with a US 0. This is the August Yarnable colorway, and my birthday is in August, so this was super fun because it's lots of yellow, and yellow is my favorite color, and it was like sunflower themed or something, and I love sunflowers, so I thought that was very fitting for my birthday month. I do love this pair. They're just a little bit too short, and that's what's fun about making your own socks, is you can play around with it and try different styles and find what works best for you and what you like best. And I try to take notes on the Ravelry project pages, that way I can remember like, oh, the cuff on this is fine, but I want to do a few more rounds on the leg. Looks like I maybe did only like 5 rounds on the leg, and what is that? I think like 10 or 12 rounds on the cuff. So I probably should do like 15 on the cuff and like 10 on the leg. And that would give me a better ankle sock using the US 0 magic loop. All right, and then these are, again, patterned by the Crazy Sock Lady. I think that's actually the only sock pattern I've ever used. These ones are a little fuzzy. Like I said, I usually wear them a few times before I wash them, so these might have been worn. But either way, I have 4 fluffy dogs, so dog hair is unavoidable. So sorry, I'm just trying to pick the fuzz off before I show you. This pattern is the Crazy Sock Lady's heel toe do-si-do pattern, and I do not remember the yarn. I do remember though that it was a very, very thin yarn. It's a fingering weight, but it was like super thin. So these, especially with the patterning on the front, which is really hard to tell with this, all the colors, but with the pattern on the front of the sock and with this super thin yarn, it gave me like a really tight fitting sock. And I think they actually shrunk up a little bit also when I dried them. But I like that. I like a snug sock. And that's actually, I noticed that like when I knit socks, I hand wash them, I dry them, I wear them, they stretch. But then when I started drying them in the dryer, even on the lowest heat setting, they kind of just like snug up a bit, and I really like that. So that's just my experience, but I like that snug sock fit. Yeah, and so this has the pattern all down the front of the leg and down the foot. And if you're watching Vlogmas, this is the same pattern that I did for my Vlogmas Advent socks. Heel toe do-si-do by the Crazy Sock Lady. The yarn, it's Queensland something. Okay, and then these are again the Vanilla Socks on Magic Loop by the Crazy Sock Lady. This was knit with the US 1 2.25 millimeter. And again, it's that sock set from Moonglow Yarn Co. I thought that I wasn't going to have enough yarn to stripe on the foot also on both socks, but I did. And you might notice there's a little bit of a size difference. That happens to me sometimes. I have a hard time getting both socks to look exactly the same. This was one of the first few pairs that I ever made though. I've definitely gotten better at getting their sizing exactly this, or not exactly the same, but like getting them to be more of both socks in a pair to be more of the same size. But you know what? It's handmade. It is what it is. These I knit over my ends and they are coming out a little bit, if you can see that. Now what I do is I knit over my ends and I weave them in, like I go down a few stitches and up a few stitches, and that seems to hold better. But I have noticed that when I only knit over them, the ends do pop out a little bit, and I think putting them in the dryer does not help that. But I mean, these have been washed and dried multiple times and worn a lot and they're pretty good condition. Okay, and then these are again vanilla socks on Magic Loop by the Crazy Sock Lady, and these are fun. So they don't match, but I did this little stripe at the toe to sort of like bring them together. I love mismatched socks, and this is the only pair I've actually done that intentionally for, and I really want to do more of it. My idea was I was going to make two just like this, two just like this, and I could like have them as a matching pair or mix and match, but I never got around to making the second one. These are also very much shorty ankle socks, but they come up on my leg a little bit higher than this pair that I showed. And I think because these were knit with a US 1, I think I just have to be mindful of that when you're like switching needle sizes. Sometimes row count needs to change. But I love these. I wear them all the time in the summer. It's like one of my favorite summer pairs. My number one favorite pair, the best fitting, the best feeling, the ones that I wear by far the most, are these. It's my favorite color. I am obsessed with this yellow. This yarn is from Tempe Yarn and Fiber, Dilicious, and the brand is Dilicious. They are the owner of the Tempe Yarn store, and they are also a yarn dyer for their yarn is called Dilicious, and this is their tencel base. I don't remember the colorway name, but I love these so much. They just fit perfectly, they feel nice, and I love like the length, the height, everything. These are my favorite pair of socks. I wear them so much. Not so much in the winter because I'm cold, but definitely wear them all summer. And I just love the like natural variation in the yarn, variegation, whatever. All right, this is probably my least favorite pair. I've never worn them. I made them for 4th of July this year, or last year, 2023. And I had these, oh, this was a whole thing. So the blue, what is the blue? I can't remember what the blue is, or the white actually, but the red is Cascade Heritage. And I started out knitting them on DPNs, US 1, and I really struggle with my tension. Like you can see the white stitches, it's super loose, and so they don't fit me well up here. So I had knit the top, the heel, and most of the foot on both of these socks. I was doing them both at the same time on 2 sets of DPNs, and they were just huge. Like my tension is so bad with DPNs. Did I say the US 1? I was like, I'm not even gonna be able to wear these, and I didn't want to reknit the heel, so I just ripped back to the heel, like I frogged back up to the heel on both of them, and then I knit the rest with US 0, I believe, is what I switched to, Magic Loop. So the foot fits great, the ankle does not fit great, and I think because I was just like having so many problems with this pair, it ended up like not being enjoyable, and I never really wore them. Also, I'm not really a fan of red, white, and blue. I just thought I would do it something to wear for 4th of July. I love holidays, so I felt like being in the like theme, but yeah, I don't love them, but I'll still wear them in the summer. Okay, and then this is also one of my favorite pairs. These ones, we're now getting to the ones that just came out of the dryer, so I'm gonna like fold them up or flatten them out. These were super fun. So this main color, my friend sent me for my birthday this year in August. So these are my birthday socks for 2023. It was my 30th birthday. And I love this main color. It's so beautiful. So my idea was to do 3 different contrast colors to sort of like bring out these little pops of color in the sock. So this yarn here is again that Delicious or Tempe Yarn and Fiber tencel base. Actually all of these contrast colors are from Tempe Yarn and Fiber Delicious. I don't know what any of the colorway names are, but they're all Delicious brand. We got pink and purple, and I just thought that was so fun to like really bring out the little pops of the little speckles in this main color. What I wish I would have done is like alternated, so on one sock have yellow, pink, purple, and then on this one maybe do like pink, yellow, purple or something to like change it up a bit, because again I do love mismatched socks, but these are so fun. I wear them a lot. I like to wear them with like shorts and my Birkenstocks, and they're like the perfect length. And hopefully in the project page I put notes on how long the leg is, because I am not going to count that right now. But yes, these fit so well and I love them. I love the colors. Okay, and then these are, these socks were for my birthday outfit. Oh, and this is again vanilla socks on magic loop, and this is a US 1 2.25 millimeter. Hey Bubs, can you get back? Hi, get back. All right, so this was my first month doing Yarnable. This was the July Yarnable colorway, and these are the DRK Everyday socks, and I knit these magic loop US 1 2.25 millimeters. So they're ribbed, so they get nice and cinched in, but they do fit really well. I wish I would have made the leg a little bit longer, but this was my first time doing a toe up sock pattern, and I loved it. It was so fun. As much as I love the look of a heel flap and gusset, I don't love knitting the heel flap because I have to like pay attention. I can't just, I get annoyed when I'm taken away from plain stockinette knitting because I just love plain stockinette knitting. But these were fun, even though it's a ribbed pattern. I had to pay attention a bit. They were still fun, and I loved the heel. And yeah, this is a fun pair. This I knit to wear on my birthday for my birthday outfit. I love to make a handmade outfit for my birthday every year. These were part of that. Okay, and then these. I love these, but they are a little big on me. I made the first one and then I made the second one like a couple weeks later. So this is another pair where they're not exactly the same size as each other. One of them's a little bit bigger than the other, and they're a little bit loose, but that's okay. I still like them. There's my favorite yellow. I was gonna just do all yellow, and at the last minute I decided to add some little gray stripes on the toe. And this is again that Tempe Yarn and Fiber tencel base, Delicious brand. These, I guess I can like get at least 2 full-size pairs of socks out of one 100-gram skein of yarn. So I'm lucky to have very small feet. I like these, but again, they are loose. And you can see I wear my socks so much, the heel gets a little bit felted, I think from like wearing them with shoes and just overall use, but still comfortable. And they hold up really well. I like these socks. I don't know how many times I wear each pair and wash them, but they're all still in really good condition. Okay, then these are my 2022 Advent socks. This was a self-striping skein from Freckled Whimsy, and I love them. This was my first time doing an Advent sock pattern. These I did knit on DPNs. I knit them both at the same time. This was my first time using DPNs. These felt really loose when I was knitting them, but after putting them in the dryer, they cinched up really nicely and they actually fit really well. And this is again one of my favorite pairs to wear. This is probably the longest. Actually, no, I think the ones that I knit in 2023 is the longest leg, but has a nice long leg. The contrasting color is Delicious. And yeah, they're super cute. I wear them all the time. I love, love, love all the colors. I love mismatched socks. I love colorful socks. and these are super fun. Vanilla Socks on Magic, nope, Vanilla Socks on DPNs by the Crazy Sock Lady. US 1, 2.25 millimeter. All right, this is my most recent finished pair, and I just knit these in December, and this is the heel toe do-si-do pattern. So this sock, this like self-striping yarn is a much better representation of that heel toe do-si-do pattern than the first one I showed, because you can really see that this pattern just gives like such a nice zigzag on the self-striping yarn, and I'm so glad I chose to do it. My only regret with these socks is that I wish I would have started with this color up on the leg, because I love the foot so much more than I love the leg. Like the yellows and the browns and like the oranges, those are all my favorite colors. So I wish that they were up here at the top so that you could see them if I was wearing shoes, but that's okay. So this was a sock set from the Cozy Knitter, and this was their December 2023 Advent, and so much fun. I did make a mistake though. I was supposed to do one more stripe on the leg. That way I could use all 24 stripes in one pair, but I started the heel too soon, and so I had to do the last stripe on the toe, but that's okay. I just ended up doing the last little bit in white. That way I didn't start back again with the gray, because I gave my leftovers to my friend Elaine. Yeah, these are super fun. This is my most recent finished pair. So those are all my finished socks. I thought it'd also be fun to show you all the ones that I'm working on. I have 3 pairs that I'm working on right now. One of them I haven't touched in months, and this is the October Yarnable colorway. So these are my Halloween socks. I've only got the first one. No, it's not finished. Like, I've just got past the heel, so I'm doing the decreases right now. Vanilla Socks on Magic Loop, and these are US 0. October Yarnable colorway Vanilla Socks on Magic Loop by the Crazy Sock Lady. I have not touched these in a while, but I'm planning on doing a Finish It February. So February, I'm going to try to like wrap up all these little projects that I have, which will be this and a Musselburgh hat, no, 2 Musselburgh hats that I'm working on. Just like wrap up all those little things that are so close to being done, but like I just haven't been touching in a while. So that's my plan for February. Okay, and then I've got these. So this is my first time doing DPN, no, not DPNs, 9-inch circulars, and I love them. So I got some 9-inch circular needles from my friend for Christmas, and I think that's now my new favorite way to knit socks. I flew through this one. I started it on Christmas Eve, and this was my Christmas Eve cast on box from Hypnotic Yarn. Vanilla Socks on 9-inch circulars by the Crazy Sock Lady. The colorway name is called, I can't remember. Country Christmas, Cozy Country Christmas or something like that. But I just love it. It's so cute. So I'm done with the first one. I use these light bulb stitch markers to count my rows. That way I make sure that each sock has the same amount of rows or rounds, and I don't have to count each time, or like I don't lose count. So first one is finished. Oh wait, I have the tag right here. It's called Warm Country Christmas. Their plush sock base. And this was the Hypnotic Yarn Christmas Eve cast on box, which was incredible, by the way. That was such a fun box. So I've started the second one. And these are US 1 9-inch circulars. I've got a cute little Christmassy charm. Yeah, so these are super fun. I did the toe. Once I got to the toe, I switched to Magic Loop US 1. All right, this next one, my last sock whip. This is the what month are we in? January Yarnable colorway. So if you have not yet gotten it, close your eyes. It is incredible. I got mine like like December 31st or something. It came so quick. All right, I'm gonna show it now, so don't look. I love it. And these I am also knitting vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars. And it's beautiful. This is just the first one. I think I'm about ready to start the heel. And it's called like Time Flies or something like that. Okay, it's put away. You can look now. So that was all my socks. I hope you enjoyed watching that. Socks are definitely one of my favorite things to knit because they're just easy to take on the go with you. I don't have to look at what I'm doing when I'm knitting stockinette, so I can just knit and read at the same time. And I think 9-inch circulars right now is my new favorite method, but I also love magic loop. If you love to knit socks, I would love to hear what your favorite method is or what your favorite pattern is. One of the things I want to do more of this year is try a few different pattern socks. I really want to make some DK weight cabled socks, but for the most part, I plan to just stick with plain vanilla because the intention is for them to just be easily mindless knitting. And when I am doing a pattern for them, it's not that anymore. So that kind of, then I have to like think about it and focus, and that kind of takes away from the appeal. But yeah, thanks for watching and hanging out, and maybe I will do another video in February for my Finish It February month. That might be fun. But otherwise, I'll see you around. Bye.